Hi, so we are starting another exercise of the chapter. In this exercise, we are going to learn how to multiply and divide algebraic expressions. We already know how to multiply ordinary numbers. In this exercise, through the questions we have in this exercise, we'll do the same thing with numbers and letters that we call them variables. So let's just take a start. The very first question asks us to multiply. There are different expressions given. We have to multiply to find the simplified form of it. Before we take a start with the multiplication, I would like you to know the two basic rules when we multiply numbers and numbers with variables together. So the very first rule is that when we are having algebraic expressions, we multiply the numbers coefficient together. So we multiply the numerical coefficients together. This is the first rule. The second is that we multiply the variables by adding their power. So multiply the variables by adding their powers. If there is no power written, it means the power is 1. So these two rules we will be considering while solving each one of these when multiplying. So the very first one, taking a start with 2 multiplied by 6x. So in here the coefficient for this term is 6 and in here the number is 2. So as per the first rule, the numerical coefficients multiply together. So 2 multiplied by 6 is equal to 12. The variable will remain the same in here with the same power. So 2 multiplied by 6 is equal to 12, so it will become 12x. 4y multiplied by 2, so in here the coefficient is 4, so 4 gets multiplied with 2, it is equal to 8, and the variable that we are having, it is y, so y would be written as it is with the same power. It will be the answer for this expression. Then we are having 3m multiplied by 4. So again, this is the variable part, this is the coefficient, 3 is the coefficient of m, and 4 is the constant. So the coefficient will get multiplied with the constant. 3 multiplied by 4 is equal to 12, and the variable will be written as it is. In here we are not multiplying the variables by adding their power because we are only having one variable. If we have more than one, then we apply the second rule, just as it is in the fourth one, 2x multiplied by 3y. So the coefficients will get multiplied together. In here 2 is the coefficient of x, 3 is the coefficient of y. So 2 multiplied by 3 is equal to 6. Now in here multiply the variables by adding their powers. So in here x multiplied by y, since these are two different variables, in here it will remain the same, x will remain the same and y will remain the same, but there is multiplication between the two, so it will become 6xy. Next we are having 4x multiplied by 2y, so 4 gets multiplied by 2, it will become 8, and x multiplied by y, so it becomes xy. 9x multiplied by 3y, so 9 multiplied by 3 is equal to 27, x multiplied by y is equal to xy. You have to keep in mind that their variables are the same as it is in the expression here, and we cannot add it because the variables are different. So each variable is going to carry its own power, which it's missing in here, but we assume it to be 1. When there is no power expressed, we assume it to be 1. Then next we are having 8y multiplied by 3z. So 8 multiplied by 3 is equal to 24, and it would become, sorry, this x is written by mistake, so it would become 24yz. 2x multiplied by 3y multiplied by 2. So this coefficient, and this constant will get multiplied with each other. First we will multiply the coefficients together. So 2 multiplied by 3 is equal to 6. So it would, since the variables get multiplied as well, so x into y is equal to xy. So we will get 6xy multiplied by 2, this constant. 6 multiplied by 2 is equal to 12. Since it is getting multiplied with this whole term, so it would be 12xy. Then we have 4xy multiplied by 2xy. So in here, this is the question where we are going to implement the second rule. So for first, we will take a start with multiplying the coefficients. 4 is the coefficient for xy, and 2 is the coefficient for xy. Now you have to keep in mind that the variables for both the terms are the same, xy and xy. So 4 multiplied by 2 is equal to 8. Now in here, x multiplied by x is equal to x square. Y multiplied by y is equal to y square. So what did we do in here? We added the powers. So in here the power of x is 1, in here the power of x is 1. So what do? We add the power. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. The same is done with y variable. The power of y is 1, and the power of this y is also 1. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Therefore, as the final answer to this expression, we get the term 8x square y square. In here, the next one is also the same, 4xy multiplied by 2x. So in here, the coefficients get multiplied with each other first. 4 multiplied by 2 is equal to 8. X gets multiplied with this x, so powers are added. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So we get x square. And y, we do not have any other y with the second term, so it will take its power along with it, and it will get multiplied. So it would be 8x square y. Next we are having 9y multiplied by 3xy. So in here, 9 multiplied by 3, the coefficients are getting multiplied, so it becomes 27. Then y multiplied by y, again 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, and there is x as well, so x will be written the same with the same power, xy square. These two are in multiplication, as you can see in here, and the power of y increases in here because during the multiplication the powers are added. Next we have 4y multiplied by 2x multiplied by 3y. So 4, now in here 4, we can order them also like 4y multiplied by 3y, and then we multiply it with 2x, or we can do it randomly as well. 4 multiplied by 2 is equal to 8. So this has x and this has y. Y and x multiplied, we get xy. The term will become 8xy. Then we multiply it with 3y, so it would be 8 multiplied by 3 is equal to 24. X raised to the power of 1, we do not have any other x, so x multiplied by y, it would be xy. But in here we are having y in this term and y in this term, and they both have the power of 1, so the powers will be added. This way we get 24xy square. So x will be the same with the same power. Y getting multiplied with this y, the powers will be added, therefore we will get y square. In the m expression we have 2a multiplied by 4ab. So coefficients will get multiplied. 2 multiplied by 4 is equal to 8. A multiplied by A is equal to A square, and B would be, it will become A square B. B would be written the same as it is because we do not have any other same variable with this term to be multiplied, so the powers can be added. So therefore it would be written as it is with the same power it had. 3ab multiplied by 4bc. So in here again, coefficients gets multiplied. 3 multiplied by 4 is equal to 12. A, we do not have any other one, so it would be the same. B we have in this term and in this term, so b multiplied by b, it means 1 plus 1, so it will become 2. So it would be a b square, and c again the power is 1, and when it gets multiplied with abc, so it would be c only once. So the overall final term we will get, it will be 12a b square c. Then we have 6abc multiplied by 2a. So coefficients first, 6 multiplied by 2 is equal to 12. A multiplied by a is equal to a square. B and c would be written as it is. So in here, just the same variables that we get, their powers will be added. You have to keep in mind that only those variables that are the same in both the terms or more than 2 terms, their powers will be added. Next one, 8abc multiplied by 2ab. So coefficients, 8 multiplied by 2 is equal to 16. A multiplied by a is equal to a square. B multiplied by b is equal to b square, and c would be the same with the same power. Because we are having only one c with power 1, so it will, when multiplied, it will remain the same. 4 multiplied by 2ab multiplied by 3c. So 4 multiplied by 2 is equal to 8, and ab will be the same, so it will become 8ab. Then multiplied by 3c, so 8 multiplied by 3 is equal to 24. ab multiplied by c is equal to abc. So the final term would be 24abc. And the last one is 12x square multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3y square. So in here, 12x square multiplied by 2 is equal to 24x square. Then 24x square multiplied by 3y square. So to 24 multiplied by 3 is equal to 72. X square would remain the same, and so would be the y square. So the final term would be 72x square y square. That's all for this question. See you in the next video. Happy learning!